Hello, welcome, and thank you for tuning in to this week's Baby Soul reading for the week starting Monday, the 25th of November. So I've got the Rose Oracle deck for this week. So let's draw a card and see where we end up. Oh, I just felt one very strongly. So interesting when drawing cards, like sometimes they literally jump out. Sometimes I feel them in my hands, and other times, like this one, it's like a card that I'm very strongly drawn to visually, even though the backs of the cards all look the same, obviously. But there's one that often stands out. So yeah, so this card for this week, which I'll pop up on the screen for you, Brothers of the Rose, Sacred Masculine, Honor, Protection, and Support. So I'm really strongly drawn to the Sacred Masculine here in this card in particular. But first, I feel like let's talk about the words first. It's around the sacred masculine. So that feels really important, and it's interesting, like when this comes up in sessions, sometimes it can be around the partner, but I actually feel like the sacred masculine is the sacred masculine in you. So we tend to associate masculine energy with strength, with confidence, with action, with doing, with pushing also in many ways, or trying to make things happen. But when we talk about the sacred masculine, it has a very different feel to it. Yes, it's confident, but it's confident in the flow, and it's confident in the unfolding of things, and not so much in the forcing or the pushing of things. So where can you honor or connect with the sacred energy in you? And it feels like it's going to be like on the edge between being active and doing, and perhaps on your journey, you're at a place where you're exploring your options, or you've got some decisions to make. It's like, how can you explore that bridge even between the action and the doing before it crosses over into pushing, striving, control? That's what I feel this card is trying to share, or to bring us some insights around. And then if you look at the picture on the card as well, I think it is a really beautiful picture, for all things conception, pregnancy, birth, children. It's one of the most powerful cards in this deck, I find. But it's interesting, like what I find it really shares is really about that marriage, probably isn't the right word, but that merging, not even merging, like it's this synergy between the masculine energy and the feminine energy. And that feels like it's both within yourself, but also within your relationship, or even others around you as well. It's understanding that it needs both. That yes, the masculine energy, but also the feminine energy around receiving. And that's what I'm feeling like in this picture, with like the woman in the center who's very clearly pregnant. So that may be a sign of not hope. I don't really like the word hope, but more of an invitation to trust, and to have confidence in your own journey. But she has a very feminine energy. Just looking at her posture and how she's standing, it feels very receptive to me. Like she's receiving, and she's nourishing, and she's growing. But in a space of trust, and not in a pushing or a striving way. And I think that's where we, especially as women, can become a little bit unstuck, especially when it comes to conception, pregnancy, birth, etc. There is that real what's the word? Tendency, I guess, to push. And that's a social thing, it's a cultural thing as well. It's a pressure thing. But yeah, like I really feel with this card this week, it's about how can you start to find a little bit more balance between both. your own inner masculine, your own inner feminine, as well as those energies that are around you, and just starting to take note whether there is an imbalance there, whether there's too much doing and not enough surrendering or receiving, or whether there's too much thinking or sitting or procrastination and not enough doing or making decisions or taking actions on something. It can go the other way as well. So anyway, I hope that resonated with some of you for this week. I invite you to just keep that in mind as you go about your day and your decisions and your journey.
Right.
Yeah, and if you do want to dive a little deeper into where you're at, feel free to reach out. And I do have availability this week for baby soul readings, one-on-one over Zoom or via email if you prefer. So check the links and yeah, hope to connect with you soon. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all next week.